not a foster parent if you haven't been hotlined.
I broke one of the kids' arms, apparently.
And apparently we starved our children.
2 pairs of Jordans, 1 pair of really nice Nikes, and this kid was like, is he rich? And I was like, he thinks he is.
No, that's the truth.
For us to think that it's just our ministry is so ignorant. We would be withholding this opportunity for our children.
This ain't no regular thing. I came for the ring, you know what I mean. I shoot my shot and it's clean. This is my city, yeah, this is my team. You see my name in the lights, better get right, I'm champion.
Can I start with my shout out to Mariah on this?
You just did.
You just did. Thank you.
Wait.
That's going in the intro.
This is all the intro, by the way.
That's how you
I'm
feel.
not even looking at the camera.
Oh,
Just go.
What's up? Well, that's not who I am. Hey, folks, welcome back to another episode.
Hey folks, welcome back to another episode of That's How You Feel. As always, I'm one of your hosts, Levi. We also have the other host, Mr. Caleb Anthony, over here.
You know what? You're doing the intro from now on. You don't ever let you that
Because you never can do it.
No, I can't do it to your standard.
Don't do that.
No.
He
You
says
got
that
it
on camera.
You got it from now on. I'm never
Anyways, we
doing
have
another
some very
intro
special
video.
guests here in the room. One of them you do recognize. He's been on the show before, Mr. Smelly Joel Driskell.
Hey.
And just kidding.
Hello.
That's mean.
He doesn't smell. But more importantly, his amazing and wonderful better half, his lovely wife, Miss
Yeah.
Cassie.
We're inputting like applause sounds for you and everything. It's gonna be really great. Like we're in a live studio audience. Like it's gonna be like you're gonna feel like when you don't watch it, it's gonna be like really good.
With the applause sign. Applause.
Yeah. It's gonna be great. So Joel and
Real quick, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share. Also, don't forget to check out our Patreon. We have a couple different subscription tiers that you can check out to get more additional content. We didn't say that.
Well.
I was going to.
Well, then speak up. Come on, let's go.
Yeah, all right. Remember to like, comment, share, subscribe. All right, let's just. So what's new with you, Levi?
Ask our guests. How's your week? How's your guys' week been?
Do nothing right. I'm sick already. How y'all doing?
Good?
You having a good week? What's going on?
Well, no, but you, Joel, Cassie's your wife.
Yes.
Yes.
Tell us some lovely facts.
Okay, hold on. We gotta stop there because
Why?
you keep calling me Cassie. And I haven't been called Cassie in like 15 years.
Here's what I wanted to do. I wanted to say, what do you prefer to
I
be
almost
called?
asked you that
What are
earlier,
your
but I was so
preferred
confident in
names?
Cassie.
I was like,
because I call you Cassie all
What's
the
your
time.
preferred name? Is that
The
it?
only person.
Really?
There's not many.
I've always known you as Cassie. I know Cassandra. So
I know. Everybody calls me Kassandra or Kass now. So that's why I was like, oh.
maybe I'm special. I guess
Yes, you are.
she hasn't punched me for it yet.
No,
But what
she's
would
too
you?
kind.
What do you want to go by on here?
It's fine. You call me
No, because I mean, for whenever we put it out, like with Cass and Joel, or with
Cass. That's fine.
Cass.
Yeah.
Okay. Cass is your wife.
She is.
All right.
Just trying to get us off on the right foot here, and you won't let me be great. Joel, how about you share some wonderful facts about your spouse?
Yes, this is my wife, Cassandra. We've been married for 15 years. Yeah, I called her Cassandra. That's what I call her. We've been married for 15 years in May.
Congratulations.
Thank you. She is a wonderful cook.
Yes.
Yes, she is. She was a college basketball player. And she is 6 foot and 1 inches tall.
With shoes on.
With shoes on. With her new running shoes.
I with my
'cause
Hokas, yeah.
We're runners now.
You got hookahs?
She's
She
a
did.
runner. She's a
You
track
made me.
star.
You made her get
I didn't
hookahs?
make her.
Okay, correction. He's been making me run. So
That's
my
true.
knees have been killing me. So it's like I have to get
She has
my
these like
running shoes.
rickety old New Balances that look like they
Oh, I
want
thought
to
they were
fall
like,
apart.
are they gray? I thought you had
Kind
like
of.
some gray shoes because you used to paint and you used
Yes,
to
no,
paint.
no,
Yes,
those.
yes.
Those are New Balances?
Yeah. Oh, dude, they're like they look like a cartoon shoe that wants to die. It's the one with its tongue out, like
Every like construction or like yard work day, she would have on these like gray shoes, and I'm just like,
that's them.
And why?
Because they're beat up. They're just like.
But no, why do I still have them?
That's a great question. I can't answer that for you.
Because she's a George Costanza.
That's so funny, but mean. No, this is really funny. That's just really funny. Like, so like, those are the ones like, I'm going to start running. I'm not going to get new running shoes. Where are my painting shoes at?
Yeah, that's what it is. I said, you should get some new shoes. She's like,
But why haven't you bought her shoes yet?
Why haven't I have bought Cassandra shoes?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Don't do that
has
to me.
Jordans,
two
but
pairs.
I can't run in them.
Oh, yeah.
Cassandra got two pairs of shoes
Why
out of me.
haven't you bought her running shoes?
She hasn't asked for them.
You're on the Run It Black team.
She hasn't asked for them.
Ask for them.
I got some.
She got some. She's good. Just ask. It's not that. I'm not that. Ask and
Is
you
there-
shall receive.
Caleb, can I get some running
No.
shoes? All right, boy.
Is there anything you want to let our viewers know about you? Anything you're passionate about? I mean, we're going to talk about fostering today is our topic. You guys are some amazing and wonderful, I don't know how you do it all the time, foster parents. So we're going to get into that topic here in a bit. And I'm sure you guys have wild stories. But
We do.
outside of that, is there anything?
I don't think so.
I have one for you.
This is your life.
Cassandra.
Me for
Cassandra has 2 Lord of the Rings shirts.
You are a huge Lord of the
She
Rings
has
fan.
2 shirts,
3.
She has 3, but
2 of them are identical.
Oh,
Don't say
then
3.
4.
Identical shirts. I
I
was
have
gonna
like
say,
a-
but you have 2
Let
identical
me guess, you
ones.
bought both of them.
no.
No,
Oh, okay.
because he bought her a shirt for Christmas,
And
from-
and then he bought the same one.
I bought her the same one. I got mine off TikTok.
Did you know
Me too.
he bought that?
No,
Oh, okay.
because we had agreed no gifts, but I never listened to no gifts. I'm a gift giver.
But you brought up a good point. She is a huge Lord of the Rings fan.
I do love Lord of the
Yeah.
Rings.
Yeah.
That's, that's
I'm
your
a
favorite
nerd.
movie, right?
Yeah.
I saw this shirt and I was
Movies.
like, Cassandra's gonna love this shirt.
and then she
Joel did-
laughs
and Joel
because she
did
was
too.
like, look. And I was like, I just got you that shirt.
But the funniest thing of that was that you guys got the same shirt. That was the only gift I got from Joel was the shirt for Christmas.
Because we said no gifts.
You know, in marriage, that don't mean nothing.
And your husband's best friend matched your energy.
Hey,
I love that.
calm down.
It's really brought me and Cassandra together. It's just closer.
It was the shirt.
What's the shirt?
There's
Well,
this TikTok video though of somebody who says, "Yeah, I'm just gonna clean the house right now," and they've got like the spray bottle and the rubber gloves on, and then they have Lord of the Rings on the TV, and they're just
Standing there the
they're
whole
watching.
time.
Yeah, that's her. That's her. She's like, "Yeah, I'm gonna be working."
That's why
Hey, they're good. They're good movies.
they are great movies.
Let's get into a few comments from the previous episodes. So this comes from Instagram. This was our reel about changing bedding. How often do you change your bedding?
Yeah.
Tiff.a.ne.7 said, I have been influenced. LOL. She said, I watched this podcast and bought 2 additional sheets sets per person in my house and 2 squatty potties, which
Wow.
made me
We're
jump for
changing
joy.
lives out here.
Have you used your squatty potty yet?
No.
Man, do you guys got a squatty
We have a
potty?
stool.
More
but
importantly,
I was about to buy y'all one.
not an
still-
actual squat with the feet where the feet go.
Yeah. Where
Yeah,
you
we
like
just
put your
have a
feet
regular
up?
stool.
Oh, well, I mean, as long as you have something. You put
yeah.
your feet up on the stool.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
I still feel like you never answered the question about how often you change your bed sheets, though.
Yes, I did. Go back to the episode and watch. Caleb almost pooping his pants. This was a reel on TikTok in Mexico. He had to wait for his wife to leave the resort room to use the bathroom. So Charles Jr. said, uncomfortable for no reason, LOL. I would have let you mess your britches. Which, Emily, next time just let him mess them.
Yeah, just do you, girl.
I made her leave the hotel room before I went to the restroom.
Yeah.
Oh, is that because you drank
15
the
years
water?
in, you won't have to worry about that.
Sorry,
You
what?
Is that because you drank the water?
I drank the water, and I was like, "Hey, can you get out, please?"
Idiot.
I was actively like, "Can you please leave the room?" She was like, "Okay, let me just get some." I was like, no, get out now.
I can totally see her just like,
Because
She was.
she wouldn't have asked you.
No, she wouldn't have, and that's fine. It's fine. But I was like, I was like, get out, and she was like, okay, I'm just gonna go to the restroom. I was like, go in the lobby, please get out.
That's great. I love that. I had to throw this one in here.
I don't care.
This had to do with laundry. So our episode was on household cleanliness. And like, if you get dressed out of a basket sometimes. No? Okay. Well, I'm glad this comment's here because it says you, the normal one, Levi, because on that episode, everyone else was clean, just straight to
We
the
fold
closets.
our laundry and put it away.
The TikTok universe is the normal ones like me, and all of them get dressed out of the baskets. So thank you.
Yep.
Joel, do you get dressed out of a laundry basket or like out of like a pile?
If I
Clean.
have to, yeah.
Right.
Like if it's there, yeah, I'll grab it from the
You
basket.
haven't folded it yet?
Yeah.
That is so rare. Don't play
Yeah.
games.
No. I know. It's because like it's
Thank you,
just been
Kass.
done and I'm like, I need this shirt. Let me go grab that.
Yeah.
And I do it.
And you hang all your shirts. We
I
don't
do.
even dry them, so you're not pulling that out of us.
The shirt is just a random.
Don't make me look
don't
bad
be so specific.
on
I
this
never said
podcast.
that.
We have
Cass,
huge,
I would have never believed for
We have a
one
huge
second that
following,
anybody
so-
is pulling clothes out of the dryer to get dressed in the morning.
Thank you.
Your house is
No.
too in order.
Why are you glaring at Joel like that?
Because Joel
That's
is not
really
about
aggressive.
to disrespect Cassandra like that on
Hold
this.
on now.
First off, I didn't
All
take
I'm
it as
saying-
disrespect.
I did. The second he was like, I sometimes have to get, I was like, nah.
I'm sorry. Shirt was the wrong word. Pants. If they're just sitting there in the basket because they're just done,
you are
I'll
one
grab 'em.
person to go at someone for getting onto their wife.
Yeah.
You shouldn't be calling anybody out.
I am the pot.
Lithium batteries. This was about TikToks. We don't know what they are. Why the airport wants to know.
You know how you go to the airport and they're like, do you have any lithium ion batteries in here? Or if you go to the post office, I always say no, but I don't know what they are. I don't know what a lithium ion battery is.
And this says, my mom's always told me if someone asks you if you have something, if you don't know what it is, your answer is always no. So you're not lying, technically, is what they said.
Do you know what a lithium ion battery is?
Apparently, people said it. They're your cell phones, and like,
I don't
Yeah,
know.
but what is it?
yeah. And why is it so important?
Like, I don't know if I have it on my person. Like,
Can TSA call in and let us know? Is it
so the
ringing?
next comment, just gonna.
So what's funny is we are gonna get Julia a producer camera because she'll talk from time to time, and this specific thing, I normally my weekly segments are not about her, but I waited to say this until the weekly segment. It wasn't bad, but she doesn't. The cereal boxes. When you close a cereal bag after you've opened it, you roll it down, right? And
Or
close
chip
the-
clip it.
Or chip clip it.
Wait,
She
I don't
does-
like how you're smiling already. How
I
do
know,
you?
I'm interested. She leaves the bag open and then just closes the box lid. And I would go up there and I'm like, what happened? And so then I do, put it down. Yeah. Why are you smiling?
We have too many children, so we have cereal boxes, like the plastic
The
things.
containers.
The
So-
containers. We don't do.
That's what people said in the comments.
Yeah.
And they said, just wait till your kids get older because you're going to need plastic containers.
Yeah.
But
Yep.
this comment says, actually, what you just said. This is my husband with all bags. Get one of those plastic containers. It's the only solution. So I am going to be looking into those for our house. We have one for every other type of food.
I have a PSA. A lithium ion battery is a rechargeable battery that uses lithium ions moving between positive and negative electrodes to store and release energy, commonly found in portable electronics and electric vehicles.
So when they say, do you have lithium ion batteries in this bag? They mean cell phones and like laptops.
Yeah.
But my question is why? So
really thought about
with
that,
the
though.
scanning machine, why do they have you take it out separately? Because it still goes to the same machine.
They don't. Well, they do for, you must not have TSA pre-check.
I knew he was going to say that.
Don't get us started there.
I knew he
I'm
was
sorry.
going that way.
My,
Is it cold up there on that high horse?
This comes from
My
the time he
airport
was
process
talking
is
about
so
this,
different.
and the story was when he got stopped at TSA
Ah,
pre-check
yes.
on his way back from Vegas.
they found some Duracells and they were like,
These ion batteries.
Yeah, so I guess
These
I just
lithium-
don't understand why it would need to be outside the bag. If
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
None of it makes sense.
I'm going to say yes next time they ask me. Do you have it? Yes. Like then just to see what would happen.
Then they just slap a sticker on it that says hazardous material.
I'll be on the no-fly list.
Well, there he goes.
Questions?
Not
Yeah.
coming back
Questions
from
of the
Vegas.
day?
yep.
Boom.
Question of the day.
No. What is a feature missing in your car that you would love to have? I've been waiting to ask. Well, I've been waiting to say my answer forever. And I'm sure it exists in other cars, but not in my little Kia.
So you're talking about what you have?
Yeah, what I don't have.
Oh, I got mine now.
And I don't have, and I want a front-facing camera. I want to know how close I can get to the car in front of me, like when parallel parking.
I think they do have that now.
I have it in mine.
Okay, yeah.
That's because she has a fancy truck.
I mean, yes, they do
Maybe
have
that's
it.
where I've seen it, because with Joel, I think, I think I've seen it
So
in
you
your
know
truck.
how close you can get to a car in front of you?
It's very helpful whenever I'm pulling into the garage and the kids park their bikes right in front. So then I'm able to turn that on and get as close to the bikes as possible without ruining them.
Gosh, I would love. It
That's
takes
very
me
helpful.
like 37 tries to parallel park because I don't know how close I can get to the front. I have to have Emily get out. I'm like, can you tell me how close I am?
Well,
my
we
goodness.
can't all be rich. My car right now does not have a backup camera.
We're not rich.
I know. I meant that because normally I was going to say mine would be backup camera. He'd be like, "Oh, you poor because you ain't got one," you know. But I used to have one in my old car, and then when I got this car, it does not have it, and it has been. I will never buy a car with that.
What car?
I would. The Dodge Journey I hate.
Oh.
Yeah, it doesn't have backup camera.
What year
I
is
remember
that thing?
2016.
I remember I rented a car that didn't have it, and I was staring at like the radio, like waiting for the camera to turn on. I was like,
When you're ready.
"Oh, I gotta turn around. This is weird."
I got to do the Cadillac. Oh.
I was like,
Yeah. Which
Anyway,
we're working on getting
Kass,
a new car. So.
what's a feeture that's not in your car that you would love to have?
Well, she has everything. She has the front-facing camera.
I would have to say like a self-driving. You know, like
Self-driving?
Yeah.
That's about as far as it gets.
Oh, okay. Because I
Like
have
the
like
Teslas, how they self-drive.
I have like
Yeah.
lane assist where it'll like I can
Mine-
let go and it'll like keep. I'm like, oh, this is so nice.
That's
but
it won't switch lanes.
No, it won't.
Okay.
It'll keep me in the lane,
Okay.
and then it'll beep at me if I'm not holding on actively like holding the wheel.
Teslas will too, though.
Yeah, I know.
They'll start beeping at. I only know because my brother had one and I drove with him.
So it beeps at you if your hands are off the wheel?
It will, yeah. Like if your hands
What's
are
the point then?
because they don't want you to like fall asleep.
They need to
That's
know
fair.
you're engaged.
Yeah, they
That's
need to know
fair.
you're still just.
You're here, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
Just making sure.
What's a feature on your car that you would love to have?
Cooling seats. The air.
Oh yes.
Vented seats. I have heated seats. I want them to be cool because,
Are they leather too?
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh
It
yeah,
gets
in
a
the
little-
summertime
it
you
gets
get
a
in there
little
with
warm.
shorts on. It's like
It's a little warm.
Yeah.
I don't like them.
I love it. Even in
cooling
like winter
seats?
because
I have
I'm always
them.
wearing
You do?
layers.
Do they work really well?
He always uses it whenever he's in my truck.
It's great.
I don't like it. It's awkward.
I
feeling.
turn the heated seat on every day. Like
Oh, yeah, heated.
98 degrees.
She's talking about the cooling seat.
No, I like the heated seat function. I'll run the AC and have heated seats on.
Yeah.
Feels so
I
good.
like doing that like in the fall and spring. I'll do that.
I don't think I never not turned the heated seat on.
No. Ugh. Get your back all sweaty.
Mushy
Love it.
butt.
You do in the summer?
I turned it on today and it was like 70 degrees out.
That's disgusting. Never mind. I have a story. Have I told the farting story?
You cooking farts in your seat, Levi?
When we were dating, I was
Do it.
in her car.
I've been told this story.
She had heated seats in her old car. We had been dating for probably a year or so. I don't know. But I had her car and I had farted a couple times. They did not smell the best. And so it was like 3 days later, Julia texted me. She had turned on her heated seats and the smell just erupted.
That's holding on for a good story right there.
And that's when
what
she
that
said
is.
she'd marry me.
Yikes.
Just kidding.
All right.
What did you do?
What actor or actress in a movie would make you think, I am not seeing that movie?
Share.
That isn't. Oh, yeah, it is.
Cher. Okay.
That's not a bad answer.
I wouldn't. Okay.
It's not
for Joel, I know he has a vendetta against Cher, so that's fine. But that's good for you.
What actor?
Or actress, like if like you see them and I'm like, oh, I'm not seeing that. You got nobody?
No.
I'd say Tom Hardy.
Really?
What? Oh, because
I love Tom Hardy.
He comes on the screen and I'm inadequate all of a sudden.
That is not true. Even whenever he was Bane, he was a better actor than most people are. Like, you can't even see his face.
I
and
thought
he's
you were going to say
fantastic.
even when he was Bane, you were inadequate.
I actually
That's true.
I struggled to think of an answer for it, but I literally just thought of it. Quentin Tarantino, like nothing he does, I'm just like, ugh, I don't care.
Especially when he shows up on the screen, you're like, oh, you were that. You really wanted a role in your own movie.
Yeah, because like the typical answer would be like The Rock, like Kevin Hart's doing another movie. I'm not gonna watch it. But like, no, any Quentin Tarantino movie, I'm like, I don't really care. Also, who's that really like? He's a director, like he's got a ton of notoriety. Does like Italian crime dramas a lot, like Italian movies. Scorsese films. I'm just like, I don't.
But this says actor.
I know what it said, and I am sorry.
Nick Cage, then?
I love Nick Cage. Don't disrespect him. Ghost Rider, his best work.
Okay. For the rest of your life, you have to watch movies from one of these actors, and you have to choose Nick Cage or Keanu Reeves.
Give me Nick Cage all day.
What?
Give me Nick Cage. National Treasure? Are you kidding me? That movie is a national treasure. Yeah.
I feel like we need some popcorn over here.
Oh my god.
No, but like, the John Wick movies are great. The John Wick movies are great. The Matrix series is great. That's all Keanu has done.
The Replacements.
Replacements, get it out of here.
Bill and Ted.
Rest in peace, Gene Hackman. Bill and Ted never saw it. But Hardball,
that's a good one.
G baby.
No, I like this. I know. My wife just watched. Did you finish it? What? Hardball? I don't think you finished
call me Big Pop.
Yes.
Okay,
that's a good. That's
Michael
Keanu,
B. Jordan.
That's Keanu Reeves' best movie.
Michael B. Jordan was in that.
He's one of the kids.
He's one of the kids.
Oh,
Yeah.
He's
I
Jamal.
did not realize that.
Oh.
Yeah, we just watched it because she hadn't seen it yet.
Levi, you got anybody? What's an actor?
No, like I was gonna make a joke because I thought that like will make you say, "Oh, I gotta see it," not that. Oh.
Well, yeah, I wanted the other side.
And
Who's
I
an
was gonna say
actor?
Medea, but that doesn't.
Jeez. So who's an actor that will like make you go, "Oh, I'm seeing that"? Nobody.
Tom Hardy.
Tom Hardy.
Probably.
I got one. I got two. Andrew Garfield. I love anything Andrew
I
Garfield
was gonna
is
say,
in.
I was thinking of him actually.
And honestly, any Denzel movie still, I'm like, gotta see it. Like he's still like he has a
almost
draw to me. I'm just like,
Leonardo DiCaprio.
no,
Yeah.
I will miss anything he's into.
Really?
I don't care for him.
Okay.
He was okay in Wolf of Wall Street, but I was just like, to me, that's his best work.
I've never seen that movie.
It's
What's eating Gilbert
Doesn't
Grape?
that movie
Never saw
start with them people having sex?
probably.
Because that's what we turned it off because we were not.
Oh yeah.
We weren't like I don't know prepared.
right.
I think that was the first. It was like, oh, all right. Well, not gonna watch that.
In the same vein, okay, so this is kind of, okay, I recently saw a movie, Airports and Flying Travel Planes. There's a movie that I wanted to see, Palmer, starring Justin Timberlake. It is incredible. It's such a good movie, and I was watching it on a plane, and I don't think it's rated R. It is rated R. But there is one sex scene in it that is useless, and I'm watching this movie on a plane, and immediately, like, in the sex scene, it's Justin Timberlake's butt. I'm just like, and I have to like kind of turn the screen now because I don't want people around me thinking I'm watching this for the sex scene because I'm just like, oh, jeez. And it lasted like 2 seconds, but I'm like, okay, it's back up. And like, that was the only scene that in the movie that was like terrible. And I'm just like, I felt immediately uncomfortable. Like, and I wonder, like, what are you supposed to do if a scene like that happens?
I've been on a plane where no shame, people watching it. You're like, wow, that's happening. There's a little kid right here watching it too. Cool. Good
so
stuff.
I'm always scared to like pick a movie like in their like selection sometimes.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Oh,
I
yeah.
don't want it.
What was the movie? Oh, we watched Thanksgiving. So we like slasher films. And we picked out like 3 slasher films whenever we flew to Seattle.
Yeah.
And there were a few times where we were like, oh my gosh.
Yeah,
And we kind of lowered it because I felt bad like if the person next to us was like
this
scared
person's
of
being
scary
cooked
movies.
in an oven. That's
Oh,
what's
that would have been so funny. Like, hey, can you turn that back up?
No.
No, but it was very
that
gruesome.
movie is very gruesome.
Have you watched that?
So
Oh, really?
It's gruesome
I've heard.
Which movie?
and very
Terrifier.
very yeah. I
I've
did
watched
not
it.
watch the
It's
second
that
one.
he's the
clown.
black and white clown on TikTok that
No, leave me alone. Stop. What are you doing? I don't want to hear it. All right. Let's get into
I was gonna
the
say,
topic.
yeah.
Let's get into the topic.
Joel and Cassie are foster parents. You guys have been foster
you
parents
said
for
it
how
again,
long?
Cassie. What?
Oh, Joel.
I
Joel
gave him
and
permission.
Cass. Joel and Cass
Get it right.
have been foster parents. How many years now?
coming up on 4.
Is it only been 4?
It's only been 4. I know.
I feel like you guys have.
Y'all make it seem like y'all been doing it forever.
They make
Yeah.
it look so easy.
I don't think that's where Caleb was going. It just.
I was telling the honest, like, heart truth. He was just being a jerk.
The years have been short. The days have been long.
No, I'm sure. Well, and there was one time you guys had 9 kids in
that's a
total
word.
with yours, and that to me was unfathomable. And I know you guys can talk more on that.
You fumbled over the word.
You fumbled
unfathomable, and he got
unfathomable.
it. He hit you with the face. I'm so
You
sorry.
kind of like you fell into that
sorry.
word and fell out of it.
I
I was like,
apologize.
I'm
I didn't
sorry.
mean to laugh. I was
sorry.
laughing at
I'm really
him.
excited to have you guys on to talk about this because I think people who haven't been on the side of being a foster parent or going through the system,
Keep going.
you're making it worse for me right now.
I'm sorry. Keep going.
I'm lost now.
You guys have made the journey seem
Oh, you're stumbling over your
very
words?
tense.
Oh, wow,
I'm choosing
look.
my words carefully.
Yeah, well, they suck.
This episode's brought
It's
to
really
you
cool
by
to have you guys
Hooked
on
Phonics.
because I think we do get to talk. Not a lot of people talk about what it's like to be a foster parent, what it's like to work within the system. And I think I grew up. My parents were foster parents at the time. We had foster kids, and now my parents ran a group home at times, or like helped work it. So I think it's really cool to hear the perspective because not everyone knows what that's like, and so. Caleb, what's that case for?
You said that your parents were like a part of the foster. I didn't know. Wendy?
Yeah, dog.
Cool. Is that how you got your little brother and sister?
That was through kinship fostering, but yeah, kind of.
Cool.
But it was family. Kinship is like family fostering. So, but what got you guys into? No,
I didn't know.
yeah. What got you in? Like, what made you think like, hey, I want to be a foster parent? It's a big decision to make. A lot of rules. Like, what did you have to change? What was that like for you guys?
Oh, well, what got us into it was honestly, I think on our first date, we actually talked about it really. Like, it was brought up like, hey, I want to adopt or foster. Yeah, me too. This because of how we grew up. So my dad took in 2 of my good friends when we were in high school, and then her dad would take in friends and family that needed a place. And it was just kind of like there was always somebody else who wasn't a blood or maybe somebody that was in your immediate family, but there was always an additional person at the table. So it was just in us, and it was a big part of us. And of course, being, I think, believers too. It's just what we're called to do, is to love people and to care for the ones that are on the outside, and to love them and bring them in, or the ones that may feel like they're on the outside. So that was a big part of why we do it.
Yeah. Well, what I love, one thing we didn't say about Joel and Kass, I know we've talked about Joel before, but they truly do have some of the biggest hearts of people that I know. There's been so many instances where we've been hanging out with them. I'll name one in specific, but it was when we went to Chipotle Fest. And
Oh, it was a long time ago.
it was, but
Wow.
we were in your red truck, and it was
The red truck. That was
red-
that long ago.
Yeah.
Wow.
Wow.
And there was a homeless man on the side of the road. And before I think you even stopped the car at the stop sign, like you had already had the money and was like ready to give it to him. And then you went on to say how you guys do that to any person you see that needs money. You always have cash to give. And I think it's so cool. Like that's your heart, is like you always plan ahead of how you can care for others. And if you don't know them or don't get to see them at Sunday at church or get to know you for the people that you don't get to see that, but you truly do have some amazing hearts. And that's why I think you're a cool, good representation for fosters families and being able to talk on it. So
Thank you. That was so sweet.
Caleb, can I borrow $20?
Absolutely not.
Okay.
No, I wanted to see if Kass had anything to add on.
I know,
What got
yeah.
you
No, I
into
mean,
the foster
no,
care
I
and
think-
adoption.
No, you did a great question or a great job with that. But I did want to say to branch off is like I don't want to speak for every foster family
Yeah.
too,
Yeah.
because we've got to know so many different foster parents. There are single moms out there just. I can't even imagine not having Joel and doing this. there are people that have been doing this for 15, 20, 30 years. And so for us to, I mean, really, we're still newbies.
So there are single people that do it. I didn't know.
I mean, I can name 4 women right now that are.
In my ignorance, I figured like you have to be like have a partner. That was
honestly, I never thought about that either. I just assumed that you had to be like
have a partner
a certain way. But I guess you don't have to. Yeah, that would make sense. Yeah.
We know one lady who had like 6 or 7 kids by herself.
Yikes.
I said, wow.
So,
I couldn't do that.
Just really quick. So this isn't on the agenda, but so help me understand. You said kinship, and I don't know what that is. So what's the difference between kinship, fostering, and like adoption? Like, are those 3 separate like entities or programs or?
Yeah. So, I mean, we'll start with like adoption. So adoption, right? There's international and then there's just here in the States. And so a lot of those are private, right? So there can be private adoptions. You can adopt out of foster care, which is, I obviously recommend that, but it is a lot more difficult. I will say we've kind of noticed a trend of judges who are really cracking down, whereas before it was like it would take years to adopt a child, and now they're really trying to shorten the amount of time that a child is in state's custody.
Yeah.
It's good and it's bad, and so yeah, no, I know it's like they're not giving the parents as much time, but I feel like it might not be hurting the children as much as it was before, where it was like dragging on. Where I've heard a lot of adoption stories where it was like, it took me 3, 4, 5 years to adopt my child out of foster care because they kept allowing the parents to have 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th chances, and it just continually hurt the child. So
I think that's where my kind of like good came from, because that was a similar situation, and it makes it hard when
it does.
They're not going to change, and it's just like, when will they? Yeah. You want them to, but
right. Yeah. And then kinship would be like a family member or even a close friend. So I mean, again, we've had children that have left our house and have moved into kinship placements. We have children right now that are going to be working towards kinship placement. And so they'll be spending like weekends with this family member to make sure it's a good place. And so we're starting to work on that with with a couple of kids we have now. And then foster care. I mean, that's just, there's a lot that goes into being a foster family, like training and stuff.
So, yeah.
Does that answer your question, Caleb?
Yes. This goes into my next question.
Yeah.
Part 2.
Are orphanages real? That sounds dumb, but like they're not advertised. I don't know like how many orphanages are in the Kansas City area. Like, I don't know.
So
like, where do the foster kids live before they come to you?
They're not as so much called orphanages anymore. Do you think?
Or are they called like group homes or
group homes? That's what I know them as, I would say.
I would say their group home would be just a foster family at that point. But they do have places that have a lot of children that would be what you would think of as an orphanage. Yeah. And for the most part, like in the Kansas City area, we've got one that be like for teenagers, it's harder to place teenagers, right? Mm-hmm. And so a lot of times there are kids sleeping in offices. And so that is why there is such a high need for families, for foster families. And so there are kids sleeping in offices with caseworkers overnight, right? Because there's just not a home for them to go to. And then there are teenagers who maybe have some larger trauma that they've experienced. And so they have to go into what would be like an orphanage. Mm-hmm. And so, yeah, just because it would be harder for somebody who's not trained to be able to deal with those traumas.
Well, and that's why, so the reason why I call them, I guess maybe they were called something different, the group homes. So when my mom, this is when I lived in Wellington, when they were foster parents, it was in Pleasant Hill or Pleasant Valley. I know those are two opposite, but it was Pleasant something, okay?
It was Pleasant.
But they were called group homes, and it was a bunch of teenagers. Yeah. I remember there was two ones. One was all female teenagers, and the other one was like middle school, high school teenage boys. And so, like, I just remember those. And
they still have those, yeah.
Okay,
yes,
that's okay.
Yeah.
So, but there's bigger. Are there bigger ones like orphanage?
Yeah,
like
I mean there are bigger like
think
facility looking ones.
Okay.
Yeah, I will say there, like another organization that they've tried to move away from that is statistics were showing that children that were coming out of these group homes, they had only known what's the word I'm looking for? But like all of them had lived so close together, and the percentage of them going into a prison
incarceration
was
kind of
so high because that's all they know
Yeah.
is like going from a bunch of people to then going to another bunch of people in a prison. So
They weren't safe I remember
they're trying to move more away from those.
No, and I can see why I mean, I could tell some pretty crazy story. Not crazy, but like stories that happened that were not the safest for my parents and for the other kids.
Yeah. And I don't know how they used to do it, but now like they have different levels for a child, right? So like traditional level or behavioral.
Is it based on, I wouldn't say mental health.
And so, yeah, there are different criteria if there's certain behaviors. And so like we had additional training in order to take like teenagers. Mm-hmm. Right. So we love our teenagers. And so we've had more teenagers. So
So you guys have been married for 15 years. You've been fostering for 4. How did you folks know like the time this is like, because I don't think you guys are ever like ready, but how did you guys like take the jump from let's do it. Let's do it. Because you moved, you relocated to an actual like spot that like is more accommodating for foster and adoption, but in your home before you moved, like you were like, let's do it. But how did you folks know y'all were like ready? Was it just like you just woke up and was like, let's do it today?
It sounds so silly, but I saw a picture of a friend of ours had posted on Facebook, and they had a third child. And the 2 kids were like kissing on this third child, right? And I was thinking, I went to Joel and I was like, what are we waiting for? Our children are, especially our older one, is so compassionate. And for us to think that it's just our ministry is so ignorant, and that we would be withholding this opportunity for our children to learn empathy and compassion and have it be a part of their ministry as well. And that was our like, yep, what are we waiting for?
I mean, at first, the most, I think, basic answer was we wanted our boys to be able to communicate with us too, just to be able to have communication lines there in case anything happens. You want to make sure that they can clearly communicate too. And so I think that was a big part of it. But when that happened, it was like, yeah, I mean, you're right. We should. And we jumped right into the training. It got set up and we just started going.
Yeah. So what, can you tell us what it looks like to become a foster parent or a foster family? Like what kind of things do you have to go through? Do you have to get ready in your house in order to be able to accept kids in?
A lot of days forgetting to brush your teeth, deodorant.
I beg your pardon?
What?
Cass, why don't you take that question?
Oh my gosh, I don't even know where that came from.
Me too. I was just
It
like,
was
okay.
very weird. There's one way to break the tension there. No, you have to go through certain trainings. They have home visits. They come and interview you. They got to know your finances and your job stability and all these different things. But at the end of the day, I mean, one of the kiddos we took a sibling set of 3, and they're like, yeah, we have 3. And I was like, cool, we have 1 bedroom with a bunk bed. And it was like they were like, at that point, 7,
Yeah, 7.
12, and 16?
No, 7, 11, and 15.
15? Okay,
Yeah.
so we had them for like 2 years. But,
Maybe
and we're
we
like,
just turned
and they're like, oh, that's okay. You could just put a mattress in the living room.
Yeah.
We're like, okay.
So we had the air mattress.
So we had an air
blown up in
mattress.
the living room.
For about
Yeah.
a month. And then we had to create an extra bedroom for the other
And that's
child.
not that's not a standard like
Oh, it
protocol
is.
for them, is it?
Well,
They're
that's what I'm saying.
sleeping in
There's
an office.
Well, I know,
Might
but
as well
like
be in the safety
in the
of a home.
world of like what you're trained by.
For
Technically,
sure. Yeah. No, you're thinking
Like-
okay, here was my picture of it. Free Willy. Have you ever seen Free Willy?
It's been a while, but yes,
Okay.
love that movie.
So the 2 parents, the adults, they get this kiddo in and they have this beautiful room set up with his favorite color is blue and he's got a baseball and all these cool things. That's what you think of. Like, yeah, it's going to be perfect. It's going to be set up. Nah, man, just throw a mattress on the floor. We're good.
Okay.
Because that was kind of a question. I was like, what was your opinion, like, or your picture of what it would look like versus the reality of it. And so that's kind of interesting.
Yeah, no, I mean, that's it. It is, hey, can you? Is this possible? Can you?
Do you
And
think it's
go,
because it's
yes,
at the point where it's such a critical need?
absolutely.
Well, even 9 is an older youth.
Which is wild, yeah.
Yeah, like I mean, people don't want to take over 5 years old, which is insane to me because we've had 3 toddlers, 2 toddlers and a baby in our house in the last 4 years, and we're not about the babies. I'm like, I will take the teenagers who cuss us out and
yeah, man.
pregnancy tests
say that word.
and finding marijuana, and like I will take them any day over a baby. So
It's a lot. And you asked earlier, like the difference between fostering and adoption, and you brought this up a little bit. So adoption is very expensive because you do have, it costs a lot more money. Fostering, there are some people who get into fostering with the goal of adoption because they may have not been able to have kids. I don't know their scenario. And it is a cheaper option because you don't have to pay. Do you have to pay up front?
for an adoption, I don't know all the pieces.
For fostering.
Oh, for fostering. I mean, aside from like beds.
Okay,
and,
yeah. So
like,
it's,
I thought you got paid to be a foster parent.
well, yes, but I mean, no, but when you say that, people, it can make it seem like, they just do it to get paid. That's not the case because you don't get paid much. It's really just. And I'm not,
Are there people that do it for the money?
probably,
absolutely.
yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
See?
Yeah.
No, I wasn't. I'm just
But it's not about the money.
Right. No, I mean that's definitely a taboo for sure. We were talking about that, and and for us it's like we went to the hockey game on Friday, and then we went and got ice cream on Saturday. This week we have a kid who's we've got 2 kids doing flag football, a kid doing baseball. One of our kids just joined a drill team, which is now my favorite thing in the world.
I saw you post a story. Yes,
It is so much fun to be a drill mom. And so there are people who do it for the wrong. I did buy earplugs though, because we were in a small gym and there was like 10 kids with drums and my ears were popping all night. And so, I mean, obviously people are doing it for the wrong reasons, but whenever you're actually doing all these activities and stuff, the subsidy doesn't go very far, but like to see this kid who's never been allowed to do any sort of sport or activity because they didn't want to do sports. They've been wanting to be on a drill team for years. And they even were like, I told my cousins I was going to be on a drill team. I can't wait to tell them I actually got to join a drill team.
That's awesome.
And so I'm like,
that's
yes.
amazing.
And so, I'm like sitting in the bleachers trying not to cry like the whole time. And I'm like, okay, hold yourself
I
together.
get sent a video and I show his brother and he's just like, that's him? Yeah. Oh, okay.
Oh my gosh, you did so good.
That's awesome.
So
It's fun.
Yeah, no. Well, and I was going to say with the fostering, if people that go into it with the goal to adopt, because you can adopt, but if that is your goal for it, can be very heartbreaking. And so I know when my mom got kinship over my sister now, because they are adopted, the family that had them could not have kids at the time. And they had... It was really just an awkward transition because the social worker had told them like, oh no, this will be your baby essentially. And so they just had it in their mind that it was going to be theirs. And so then when the court said, okay, there's family now interested, because there's so many factors of, because they want them placed with family. That's when they go to kinship. And so that's the goal. So it becomes very heartbreaking and cool kind of. Other side of that story is my mom and Ron ran into that family and they were able to have a kid after all. And they also have adopted another one through foster. So, I mean, it is possible, but they were able to kind of reconnect and stuff. So it was really cool. But it can be very heartbreaking if you go into it just to adopt because there's so many.
Yeah.
You get attached.
Ultimately the goal is reunification.
absolutely.
The next step is we always want to try and find family because there are familial bonds that we just can't fulfill. Those things that we just can't connect on. We can try our best. Cultural things too. you know, like I tried to cut his hair, one of the kids' hair, and he just was like, nah. I was like, no problem, pal.
I can do locks now though.
Is it still?
Dreadlocks?
Do you still? What?
Really?
Oh yeah, Cass can do hair.
Really? Mm-hmm. Okay, cool.
Joel can't cut hair, but Cass can do hair.
Okay, will you calm down?
His fade's not bad. It's not bad.
It's getting better.
It was the corner in the front.
My brother was so upset with you when you cut my nephew's hair.
Bro, that's what, hey, you talk to him
look.
about that.
It ain't got nothing to do with me.
Talk to him about that.
So even though, like, how hard is it to not get attached because you know the goal is always reunification? How difficult, knowing that, is it still when they do get to go back, which is a good thing? How hard is it still to like let go? Because like you care for these kids anyway, and you still know you're supposed to go back. Is it still difficult like when they go?
Depends.
I'm thinking back through some of your guys's, because we
some of the
obviously know
stories.
some of the things, and yes, it does depend.
Some of those were like, yeah. And some were like,
there was really only one that we had a couple of teenagers and they threatened to kill us and hurt our children, our other children in the house. And they had to move. And no, we weren't sad about them moving. They needed to for the safety of our family. But I would say everyone else, I mean, the reunification though of the brother and sister with their mother, we got to move them into their mother's house, and we still get to see them. They still come to church.
Yeah, they were here this morning.
Yeah.
Like, it's so cool.
And so, I mean, we still get hugs every week, and
Can I?
so, yeah.
11-year-old was actually like worshiping with hands up this morning, and it took me aback. I like looked over and I was like, okay, because you know,
Yeah. So, yeah.
I don't know who you're talking about, but it's fine. Yeah, cool.
So,
we speak in code.
But yeah, I mean, I will say like the kiddos that we have right now, there was talk of us adopting them. And so we had that conversation. And whenever I found out that there was a kinship placement possible and that they were wanting to go ahead and take both of them, I remember I cried.
Yeah.
I was a little like, okay.
That's hard.
There was this like duality here. Like, we were really happy that they would get to be with family. But the bond that they've created already with our boys, to see that, like,
It's going to hurt.
that's going to hurt.
Well, and
gut wrenching.
just watching through as a friend, seeing how, because you've had multiple sets of families now, they blend differently with your family. And so I will say, I just noticed the last ones you've had, from the get-go, I just feel like was such a natural blend. And obviously that's part of fostering. Some kids aren't going to fit best in your home, you know, and that's where you do obviously have to, for your safety and for theirs, you know, just make sure like,
It's a good thing your boys are so accommodating. Like they're so welcoming.
They are.
Truly, yeah.
They were built for this. They truly were. I mean, yeah. But that question gets asked a lot about like how does that affect you whenever they leave? And even like we had a 3-year-old last year, and he was posted on a Facebook page for foster families of like he needs a new placement.
Yeah.
We're unfortunately not allowed to take him back because we had the full sibling group. And so we're not allowed to break
Really?
them up at that point
That makes sense. Okay.
Yeah.
because then it would hurt the other children
Yeah.
to not be allowed to come back
Why
to our
was I
house.
not good enough to come
I
back?
get that makes sense. Yeah.
But whenever the 5 left us, now there's 2 in one home and 2 in another home, and now the 3-year-old is off on their own, and
Yeah.
I just
They're
That's
back
hard.
in
I broke
foster?
down. And
Yeah, you think through, like, did we make the right decision here, and did letting them go, was that the right decision? Should we have powered through and done this? But I think, you know, with that comes our own mental health, and at that point in time, like you guys know, that was around the time of our Vegas trip, and when they left, and I just my mind was gone. I was not in a good place mentally, and so sometimes it's necessary
Yeah.
for your health too. Because having 9 kids in a house from ages 18 to 3 is tough.
Well, and theirs too. I mean, that's what
Yeah.
I mean, this wasn't a quick decision. It was like talking with caseworkers and figuring out what was best for the kids. And
Yeah.
whenever you have 5 children who all could be diagnosed on the spectrum, it was not in their best interest either. So
Yeah.
What is if you're able to speak to it, what's been something that's been like the most challenging in the entire like foster care journey that you've been a part of?
Parents.
The parents of the foster kids.
That's challenging. I think you want the best. You hope for the best in this, and you hope for, so with the 3 kiddos that we had that were reunified last year, their mom was very understanding, and she's just like, yes, absolutely, I'll do whatever it takes. Would come to church to see him, would do what she needed to do that way. And then you have some that set out like, no, you do it the way I want to do it. It has to be my way. And you're like, hey, we're trying to help here.
Yeah. Yeah.
But we need to come to some sort of agreement.
we're seen as the villains
Yes.
a lot of the time with bio families.
Yes.
Especially, and I'll say because a lot of our children are of color. And so, I've been yelled at by some grandmothers before.
Yeah, and
So.
parents telling their kids to say things, trying to get them to say things, so to get us in trouble.
Hotlines. We've been
hotlined a
Oh,
lot because
You're not a foster parent if you haven't been hotlined.
I
Just
broke one
saying.
of the kids' arms
Just-
apparently. So,
Yeah.
like that kind of stuff.
Jeez.
It's like, gee
Oh yeah, and
whiz,
apparently we
man.
starved our children. I'm like, which is hilarious because we have 2 teenagers in our house at that point, and they both thought that was the funniest thing because we literally pulled up pictures of them whenever they moved in. One of them specifically, and he was like, really? They cannot for a second say that y'all starve. And so I had to take a picture of dinner every night for 2 weeks
I took
and send
audio
it to the
recordings of saying, "Hey, dinner's ready. I'm not hungry." Audio.
Okay.
It's like that.
I know
kind of
it's
stuff.
hard. And
Because we were
and-
hotlined by their mother.
Because then you usually like, we're gonna weigh you when you come in, and then weigh you currently. So like he's gained 13 pounds since he's been here. He's not missing.
It's been a week.
And I've seen that where the parents will coerce their kids to say this to get someone in trouble. And it breaks my heart because I'm thinking of mental health trauma they're causing their kids. I mean, or bad habits they're teaching. You know, it's just so sad because that's their mom.
Right.
Or their parent. Like they're going to have that bond regardless. And so there's some things that, it's just sad to see what parents will do or will not do.
With that is the other
Right,
side too, where you hope for the best of the parents, right? We know that. I mean, we were talking about this earlier, and she was saying that most of these parents were in the system or have some I don't know
Connection
connection
Yeah.
with being in the foster care system or being in state's custody, and it's just a cycle that doesn't always get broken. Sometimes it does, and I think that we've seen, with the 3 kiddos, we've seen them. That cycle's
And he wants to be a foster parent.
he does.
So,
No, what are there any stories you can tell that may be hard to hear for someone who's interested, but like the truth of like some hard stories that have been that you've had to go through being a foster parent, how you've dealt with it, and things like that. Like, do you have some examples of some situations that have been hard to work through during this journey?
I mean, I go to the teenagers that we.
You did mention.
Well, I was like, probably that was the scariest 2 weeks. But no, I would say the hardest emotionally, mentally. And we had a teenage mother. And honestly, I'm gonna try not to cry.
Yeah.
That's the one I was thinking.
Yep. We had a teenage mother and her baby and toddler. And it was 2 weeks after we had gotten her, the caseworker was like, hey, I'm coming over to serve papers, and we're putting her children in state's custody. It was Jerry Springer on our front lawn. She is running around screaming and cussing, and in order to calm her down, it was, we're working with you. All 3 of you are going to stay in this house. I am going to be foster parent to all 3 of you. And she kept breaking rules, and we had to make a really hard decision that it was not in her baby's best interest for her to still be in their lives at that point. And so not only did we have to say goodbye to the mother, we had to have the baby and toddler removed from our home as well, because baby daddy was threatening our lives. And so we had to sleep in our 2 boys' bedroom for about a month on the floor. And we let like cops know, like friends of ours know. And so they would even drive past our house randomly. To this day, she still doesn't have her kiddos back. And they're with a kinship placement. And I see pictures of them flourishing and knowing that it was the right decision. But that's the one that got him the worst.
Yeah.
Too.
The day all of it went down was the state wanted us to find this information out. They're like, we think this is happening. You need to find this information out. So you put on your detective hat. Literally 5 minutes before I have this conversation, she's running to me in the lobby, screaming, joyful, because she passed one of her exams. And she jumps on me and is so excited. And I was dying on the inside because I knew what was about to happen.
Yeah.
Because I knew the truth, and she was going to try and fight it and hide it. And that, watching her move her stuff out of the house, and I couldn't do anything. I just stood there and watched and cried. Mm-hmm. That hurt. That feels like the one that got away. Mm-hmm. Man, if I could have another shot at that one, God, give me that one back. Yeah. Let me do that one again. I want that one back.
That was like I said, I just as a friend that has seen from afar what your guys' journey, that was a lot on you guys, and I know that you guys did a lot for her, and she grew a lot during the time that she was with you, and it's cool to see, but I also know that that's.
And that one didn't even, I feel like, take an emotional toll on us while they were with us.
No.
Right? It wasn't, it was just to the point where it was no longer safe for her children.
Yeah.
We had to figure out something safe for her children. Mm-hmm. And we even asked to keep her.
Yeah.
And they told us no.
Yeah.
And she didn't want to stay with us anyways. No. But yeah, so that was can we end on a happy story?
Yes. No. Oh no, we're not ending. There's more questions. I was gonna say I think we're. I don't want to
scare people away.
Just do whatever you want, bro.
I was gonna say I want to kind of hear the encouraging things.
Yeah, there's so many.
I do think yes, it is good to know. Like yes, fostering is hard, but there's so much purpose in it. And you guys have impacted so many people's lives. Obviously, the integration of others into your home can be very challenging at times. But can you tell me, like, why you would encourage people, like, if it's on their heart to look into fostering, like, what would you say to encourage them to move forward with that and pursue it?
It's an opportunity to make a positive impact in young people's lives who have probably for all of their life seen nothing but tragedy, nothing but and they may not even know that that's what it is.
Right.
But living in abandoned houses all of your life, or going from hotel room to hotel room, and the kids are just along for the ride. But as they grow older, these things will start to come to light. And then there are some that were living in a dog kennel. There were some that were living in a closet.
Yeah.
And where they have a chance to be a kid.
Yeah.
You know, it was one of the things when the 3 came to us. The oldest one, he was 16. I remember the first weekend we're in the car, and I said, hey, do you have any questions for me? He's like, not really. And I said, here's my goal for you. I just want you to be a kid. I think for the last several years, you've had to be dad to these two. And you don't need to. We got it. We've had a few years in on being parents now. So let us take care of that. You be a 16-year-old. And he took that and ran with it. Because he turned into a 16-year-old.
But do you think that's also because he was finally in a place that
Yeah.
he was safe enough to trust you saying that?
Absolutely.
And that's what I think
yeah.
so cool about like having you two share, because I think that you telling him that and him knowing, like, that was the first for him.
Yeah. Yeah, it was. And he definitely ran with the idea of being a teenager. And beforehand, he talked about, man, I had such good grades. And we drug him by his toenails across the finish line to get his, his
So
diploma.
much so that we took a picture with his diploma.
And we were like, graduated
Earned
again.
this diploma.
That's awesome.
But that's the wins that you get to see when you get to see one of your kids catch a touchdown in his flag football game, and he gets up and he goes, yeah! And then does the like he's ugh. I just busted out laughing. I was so excited and happy for
So
him.
for you, it's the football games. For you, it's the drill.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Watching him at drill team this past week, and for me, like, hearing about the life that they had to live before. So like having to be a dad, and in this instance, like getting in fights at school, and now that they're finally comfortable in their skin because they're being supported where they're at. Like, we went to the thrift store on Saturday and walked out with 2 trash bags full, and he was like, thrifting is my new favorite thing. I was like, me too. And so
Who said, let me take them shopping? No, we're not.
No. It was so much fun because I was like, anything orange tag, put it in the bag. Like Union, like, and so we were
And for
like
a
going
kid,
through.
that is like,
And
gold.
they were allowed to buy clothing that fits their personality for the first time.
Yeah.
And so it was
Yeah.
so much fun.
I just think
Yeah.
it's cool. You get to go through those experiences with them.
Yeah.
You know?
Watching
what's
them in the
cool for me.
neighborhood is really sweet too. Watching them run around, ride bikes, play basketball, throw the football with kids in the neighborhood, and like be kids.
Yeah.
Jump on the trampoline. It's just there's
Not have responsibility. Yeah.
there's this like weight that comes off of them,
Yeah.
and you get to see this the really cool transformation of an individual. You're just like it's
The
it's
shell,
so rewarding.
the shell
Yes.
unhardened.
So rewarding to see.
It's really funny because like every time they get a new kid, Joel will call me or FaceTime and say, "Hey, this is Uncle Caleb." And I'm like, "Hey," and every single one of those kids call me Uncle Caleb, and it's so funny because like it's fun for me, and I get to be really selfish because then I get to buy them Christmas presents too, and I get to go shop for them. I get to text them, "Hey, what do they want for Christmas?" And it's another experience that they get to have is opening Christmas presents. And like, these gifts are just for you, your brothers and sisters. They have their own too. There's no like sharing of anything. Like, this is mine. Like, this is for me.
Yeah.
So like getting to spoil each kid individually, it's great.
Yeah, and then one of the kiddos we had wore the same size shoe.
Oh gosh.
And so Caleb was like, I said, do you have any size 10 and a half you can offload? Because he needed some. And I was like, man, if Caleb just has some that he's not wanting to wear. And he comes and drops off like 3 pairs of shoes, like 2 pairs of Jordans, 1 pair of really nice Nikes. And this kid was like, is he rich? And I was like, he thinks he is.
No, that's the truth. That is the truth. It checks. Well, and I will
is, it's
say,
fun.
to end on another really cool story. I know there's one of your kids that you guys have. You got them, I believe, concert tickets for Christmas at one point.
Oh, yeah. I'm allowed. Yeah. So one of our 18-year-old, right? So it wasn't in her best interest to adopt her. Because it's better for her to age out of the system with all the benefits and things like that, right? And so she's ours. Like, she calls us mom and dad.
Yep.
And so, yeah, I mean, she cried. We got her Hosier tickets, right? And then
She sat there and wept, and I was like,
Over Hozier?
I cried whenever I bought them. They were really expensive.
Never mind. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Hozier's great.
But we're taking her to New York for her graduation present. And so for Christmas this last year, or, a few months ago, we got her Broadway tickets, right? And so it was kind of like her, and so, we're gearing up. We're like a month away, 2 months away from graduation.
Yeah, the trip is in 2 months. Legit.
Oh my gosh.
Well, I mean, even after I think you got her those tickets, I remember you were telling me a story, I believe it was you, about how she said it was like the best Christmas she had ever had, or and then she had kind of told you like what it was before, and it just hearing the difference. And for you, that was normal. And you just invited her into your normal traditions. And for her, it changed her life in a way.
That was her normal. Look, her mom is somebody who just goes crazy and has like the one big gift, and it's something just bananas. Like she got a dog for Christmas one year, which doesn't seem like that, but it was a golden doodle. Those are expensive dogs.
Yeah.
Like that kind of thing. And my one big gift was I got some of those, gummy oranges, those sugar oranges that my dad knew.
Circus peanut. Oh,
He knew I hated those things, but he put them in there anyway because he knew I was going to give them to him. I was like, come on, man.
Did she ever give like a new car? Can I be
She got a
adopted
car.
in?
She got a car for her birthday one year. For Christmas, wasn't it? 16th.
Oh, wow.
That was your Oldsmobile. That was the...
Yeah, don't get too excited.
One of the things that I every time they get like new foster kids, I always kind of like, because I see them all the time. I see them on Sunday. I always like pull them. I was like, hey, I got a question for you. How do you like Joel and Kass? And all of them are like, one of the comments, all of them say they're great, but one of the comments I've gotten was they really care. Oh. And I was like, you can tell the truth. He's like, no, they care. He was like, I've been in some where it's obvious they're in it for the money. I've been ignored in homes, and like Joel and Kass care. And I was like,
Yeah.
Cool. Are you sure? He's like, oh yeah, this is the best one I've ever been. So
Yeah.
you guys are doing a great job.
Guys for what you're doing, because I know it's for you, it's because of your heart. You're like, oh yeah, it's great. But no, truly, like it's cool. Obviously, there's a shortage of foster parents. And so if you're interested, definitely check into it because you really can impact lives.
But for those that aren't interested, but they still want to like, how can I help you? It's not for me, but how can I help y'all? How can someone like support and be a part of the solution?
So glad you asked. Yay, my turn. Okay. Parent aid. There is such a short supply of parent aids.
What is that?
So a parent aid will pick up the children, and they will chaperone visits with the parents or with siblings, right? And so a lot of times kids can't even see their parents weeks after they've been taken from a home. Like, can you imagine like being taken from a home, put in a stranger's house, and not being able to see your parents because there aren't parent aids to chaperone those visits, right? So parent aid is a huge one.
And that's just what, a few hours out of your day?
And those aren't even volunteer. You get paid for it.
And it's just a few hours, right?
Right? Huh?
Just a few hours, right?
Yeah, it's usually like a
thing.
2-hour visit. You put together a little report for the court, and sometimes it's like helping the parent to be a better parent too, especially with like toddlers. Like, hey, you need to change the diaper, right? Or hey, it's time to eat. So like those kind of things, or helping facilitate conversations with teenagers to make sure that they're healthy conversations. So parent aid. CASA volunteer, that is somebody that comes to the house and they get to speak to the court on behalf of the children. So as a child, you're not necessarily going to the court and speaking, right? And so the CASA volunteer is linked to the children's lawyer, which is the CASA. Okay. And so that is a volunteer position. And then on like a smaller but still very impactful, like KCMO Angels, I have to give them a shout out. There are so many different programs where you can like adopt a foster family for Christmas. There's mentorship through like Foster Adopt Connect and
Foster Adopt Connect.
Yeah, so there's so many different avenues that you can do.
We should throw like a link in the video description, like ways you can help. So for people that like see this and go, I want to help. It's not for me, but I want to.
For sure. No.
Right. Yeah. To be a foster parent is a huge commitment. But there are so many different ways that if you don't have a foster family in your own personal life that you can help minister to, then definitely all those different avenues.
I mean, because even there's times you guys have gotten like tickets for things, like Royals games, things that the kids get to experience that they may have never gotten to do before. Because people have volunteered
may
up
never get to do again.
Yeah.
So-
We went to a Mavericks game last week. We went to a Comets game a couple weeks ago, and it was because there are people who have like season tickets to these things, and they're like, "Hey, I can't make it to this game," and they donate it to foster families, and that's been huge.
Yeah.
Hold on, didn't you took some of my foster kiddos to a concert?
Yeah, you did.
Who did you see?
You did.
You saw Ed Sheeran? Yeah,
that's right.
yeah.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, he
we
took
gave
a
you
couple
the
of our
tickets.
Yeah.
I called him because it was
When did you do? Hold on. When did you do this?
You guys were at something because Julia.
2 years ago.
Don't say you. I wasn't. I was at home.
It was last year, I think.
no.
I was at
it was
home.
2
Maybe it was
years
2
ago.
Why
years
didn't I
ago.
get an invite?
That was when I had my knee surgery,
I
wasn't it?
got a
And I
ticket.
couldn't go.
Oh yeah. Oh, was that last year?
It was limited.
No, it was 2 years ago. It was 23. Because I had my knee
the
surgery.
mathematics tour.
Anyways,
I had my knee surgery.
It's
And,
been 2 years.
yeah, and I couldn't
Gosh, I'm getting
couldn't
old.
go. And
Yeah.
I was like, hey, do you want to do this? You're like, yeah, sure.
Which it was so funny. So it was Ed Sheeran. They were excited to go. They only knew a few songs. I was excited to go to see Ed Sheeran. And so this whole time, the opener comes out. It was, I believe, Khalid. And your foster kid was like, my favorite was Khalid. And I was like, are you kidding me? We went to an Ed Sheeran concert after that.
He
and
would
your
say
favorite was
that.
Khalid. And like, didn't even have the lights or nothing.
He
But
would say that.
they still like had a blast. And it was cool to be able to be there and just, yeah.
Was that whenever our foster daughter also had both of her legs broken?
His name is Khaled.
Okay.
Oh, Khaled.
I thought he was saying it
Oh,
wrong, but I
you're
wasn't
right,
going to
it
say
is,
anything.
Yeah. DJ Khaled. Yeah, sorry. Khaled.
Yeah, again, and another thing on the rewarding side, like the kid we're talking about today at church, we're talking about the things that he's doing in his life. And he's like, yeah, I need to get my oil changed in my car and got a couple of things that I need to take to shop for. And I'm done working at Walmart. That was just a temp thing. So I'm looking for another job. And it's just like you're just hearing more about it.
Drive and
Yeah. And
seeing
you know,
him be an adult now. And
yes, and it's really funny because he just comes and pops in. He came to the house a couple days
To pick
ago
up
to
mail.
pick up some mail.
I was like,
and
when
he
are you going
knows
to
that.
change your address?
He's always welcome to
Maybe
just
he
pop
won't,
by.
so he can see you guys.
That's fine. I'll get a hug every couple weeks from him.
Be bro man from the 5th floor. What are you doing back here? Just
Bro,
came by to
I'm
get my
making
mail.
a sandwich.
I love it. Well, let's
Ramen.
As always,
make
we're
us
gonna
some
move
ramen.
into our weekly segment, which is called That's Crazy. I mess it up all the time. It's called That's
crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
You called me earlier last week, and I was like, you was like, hey, Kayla. I was like, hey, what's up, Levi? Oh, nothing's going on. I just wanted to talk to you. Okay, cool. What's up? Nothing. I just wanted to see how you're doing. I'm fine. What's up? And like, you called me again, and every time when you call me,
I know.
when you
But
call me,
I have things. I've given you solid stuff when I call you.
you do, but it's
I think our country went downhill when Toys R Us went out of business. That was a solid one.
Anytime it's usually just you two. I only my anxiety shoots up when y'all call me, and it takes y'all forever to get to the reason of why you're calling. And the whole time I'm on pins and needles. Like, what's up? What is it? What's up?
I didn't
funny,
need nothing.
though-
Just calling.
Oh my gosh,
now.
it makes me so mad every time y'all call.
I feel like you're part of the problem. Because literally you're the hardest person to talk to.
Amen. Hallelujah.
And
Praise the
whenever it's
Lord.
us, you instantly get like an attitude.
I do because I'm like,
Immediately. I will watch people ask you the same question I would ask you, and you wonder why it takes me a second to get to the answer or get to the question because you're such a
I get scared when y'all call. I'm just like, what
maybe
happened?
you shouldn't be our friend.
Maybe.
Oh, wow.
But I get scared.
Whoa.
Yeah, I'm gonna just breeze past that. But I get
Look,
scared
they're ready
every
to
time.
keep you. I'm ready to let you go.
Every time y'all call, I get scared. I'm like, what happened? And because that used to be a thing, like when I lived in California, when anybody answered the phone, it was what happened. Like it wasn't hello, how's it going? It was what happened. And so you only really called if there was like an emergency. So when y'all two call me, I'm always like, what happened? Like even when my mom kind of calls, I'm like, what's up? Like, what do you need? Because she always needs something. Or my dad especially needs something. So when y'all call, I'm like, what happened? And when y'all just want to shoot the breeze. I'm like, what happened?
I just
Get
want to have
to
a
the-
normal conversation with you.
And
you won't
I
talk to
can't. I can't do it.
I just want to know your thoughts on Christian Bale versus Ben Affleck's Batman.
Oh, Batfleck is whooping that.
Cassie, do you have anything for this weekly segment?
Um,
Cass.
There
Cass.
you go. Did it again.
No, I think I literally couldn't do foster care without Joel. So that would be my hot take.
He is a hot take.
He is a hot take. I agree.
I don't know how to take that, but thank you.
I'll tell you how to. No, never mind.
Yeah.
Never mind.
Yeah.
I hope that gets cut.
Oh, we're leaving that in.
Wow.
You kidding me?
Wow.
Cass, we said way worse than this podcast.
Joel, what do you have?
Anything, Joel?
Yesterday at Lowe's in Lee Summit, I had pulled into my parking spot and this guy had backed out and was starting to go forward, but I had checked where I was in the parking spot, so my rear view camera. And then so I moved forward a little bit and he threw up his hands at me and both of us just started laughing. Like, it was just too funny because he was like, "What are you doing, man? I'm trying to go here." It's like that's in my head what was happening. And I was like, "What? Why are we so upset right now, man? I'm just trying to get situated here.
Hey, it happens.
Calm down. You're good. You're fine." That's crazy.
That's crazy. Well, this week,
We'll cut that out.
this week is another TikTok made me buy it, which we bought these before. We did a whole episode on these before. They are the Pop Daddy pretzels, but I bought the new box because they were good. They have 5 new flavors that I want us to try.
Ooh, yay.
There is Frank's Red Hot, Thai Honey Curry, French's Mustard, Yellow Mustard,
That actually, looks good.
Old Bay Seasoning,
Okay, that sounds good.
and Maple and Brown Butter.
Okay, what's up? Give me
So-
them all.
Which one are you gonna choose? Now
They all sound so good. I don't know. What did you think?
I thought you were
Can I
gonna
say
choose
which
the
one
Thai
I don't
honey
want?
curry.
Is that one spicy?
I have no clue.
I
This
don't
sounds
want. I
disgusting.
don't want
Okay.
that one.
Okay, I'll do that
This one sounds disgusting.
Okay,
to
I'll
me.
try it. Give it to me.
I don't want
Give
it.
me the Frank's Red Hot.
That's the one you said I couldn't have. Oh, I was gonna say I'll F with some mustard, but yeah, I'll
Mustard?
let me get some mustard. I don't know what Old Bay tastes like.
What?
Cajun
Oh,
seasoning.
it's okay.
You can try this one.
I
still.
love Old Bay.
By the way, y'all, I just want to say, we said earlier, like at the top of the show, that Cass is a great cook. She really is. Like, you made a
Thank
gumbo
you.
or something or another
For the Super Bowl.
For Super Bowl.
My goodness.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Oh, and I was told I have to make it again
You do.
for another one of your co-stars, Mariah.
Hey.
So I got to make it
Okay.
for her.
See,
Interesting.
I don't taste the Frank's
It
Red
kind of
Hot.
tastes like the buttered bread from Jazz.
Oh, wait.
Let me get this, let me get this.
Oh,
Yeah, taste that. This tastes like the butter from.
Why'd you eat that like you hadn't eaten in
Yeah,
5
give
years?
me. Oh, he does it all the time.
Ah.
Sorry, I guess I'm mixing your flavors.
yeah, it's definitely Old Bay.
Yeah, this is good. Joel, you want to try that?
Yep. You have to lick the seasoning off of this
Folks,
to get the
we are
Frank's.
going to continue eating pretzels, but if you haven't, check out Pop Daddy Snacks. They have tons of new flavors of pretzels. In the fall, they had a Dutch apple pie one, which I didn't get to try. I'm a little upset about. They also have some new gluten-free ones that look really good. If they want to send us some snacks,
Curry.
I ain't going to be
Shout
mad.
out Pop Daddy.
Pop Daddy Snacks.
Pop Daddy.
Hit us up for a collaboration, maybe, but also link below if you want to check out these. So.
Oh, wow.
Tune in next week. We have the photographer, Madison Michelle Photography, coming up next week. We'll see you next time. Thank you.
This one
See
tastes
you
like
guys.
curry for real.